You are now tuned in to Boxing Blah Blah Blah, where we blah 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 about everything boxing. In this episode, we discuss Virgil Ortiz's latest stoppage against Maurice Hooker and who does he fight next. Plus, is there a boxing video game? Esports Boxing Club, let's go! All right. You are now tuned in to Boxing Blah Blah Blah, where we blah 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 about everything boxing.
That's right, baby.
On today's episode, we're talking about the fight that happened this weekend. We had Virgil Ortiz making an appearance, fighting against Maurice Hooker.
Man.
We're also going to talk about the new video game that ESBC had just come out with that looks amazing. But first off, we're going to go ahead and talk about this Virgil Ortiz fight and Virgil Ortiz versus Maurice Hooker, because Hooker, he fought. I ain't gonna lie, he fought. But what's your thoughts on that, BB?
I tell you what, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, man, I'm so critical, right?
Yeah, you are.
Hooker looked good.
But
I don't think Hooker possessed the power for this kid, right? This kid was hungry, man. This kid came in, this kid was throwing bombs the whole fight.
Yeah.
He caught Hooker with a lot of good shots, and I think the body shots is what really hurt Hooker. And what Hooker should have done was stick and move. But it seemed like he got out of his game plan around round 3. It seemed like Hooker had baited this kid into fighting the way that he wanted. But then Hooker left that style and he went back to trying to get back on the inside, taking shots from this kid. I don't think Hooker, being out of boxing as long as he had been, was ready for this guy to come in, man, and fight. That was a tough fight. Hooker should have taken a tune-up fight, to be honest, first before he tried to fight this kid. This kid came in ready, man.
Yeah, he did, man. He came in ready. And I'm not gonna lie. Maurice Hooker looked sharp, looked crisp to be out of ring for a year and a half. The problem was discipline with Maurice Hooker. He has that Bud Crawford type mentality, whereas you hit me hard a couple of times, I'm hitting you hard right back a couple of times. And you can't slug with a slugger. Like, if you don't have that kind of power like Ortiz, you can't just stand there swapping punches like that.
Correct.
Ortiz didn't really get stunned too much. Hooker hurt him one time, and I think he just stunned him one time, but
he got him a good shot.
Yeah, but the difference in seeing them shots land like that, you just can't stand in there and go trading with a guy like Virgil Ortiz if you're Maurice Hooker. You know,
that's
Hooker
correct.
got decent power, but he's real thin, real tall, kind of moving up like that. It just wasn't healthy for him. He didn't get knocked out, though, in my opinion. If I'm Virgil Ortiz, I can't count that as a knockout because the dude hurt his wrist throwing a punch.
Well, you know what? Now I heard you say that, right? And I remember you text that last night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he hurt his wrist. I think it was a fake. Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm just gonna call it like it is. The guy deserved an Emmy award. He deserved a Golden Globe. He deserved an Oscar, a Grammy. Really? He deserved every award that was actually on award shows, because the way that he did it, he got caught with a clean body shot. Mm-hmm. The kid hit him with a clean body shot, and after he hit him, he thought about it. If I'm about to go down because he just caught me with a body shot, may have caught him with a liver shot, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't think he could breathe, so he just dropped. And then he thought about the next big thing. Let me just point toward my elbow. Let me point toward the elbow. And because the elbow could be hurt, you ain't suffered no injury to your hand or elbow, Hooker. You got punched in the body. The boy hit you with a good shot, too. Kid hit him with a shot, man, that I heard when he hit him. It was almost like I was sitting at the ringside. He hit him with a good shot. Mm-hmm. He spun around and he dropped. Come on, man.
All right, so see, I watched it again in slow motion, and watching what was the body shot that would have done that? Maurice was still throwing crispy punches for a second. When he went down, he didn't really get hit by nothing. He threw a punch and turned around like, this ain't happening. Now, if dude hit him in the wrist and broke his wrist trying to defend it, wrist or elbow, I think at the end he said it was his wrist because he had a whole little medical sleeve and all that kind of thing on his wrist. So that can happen. If dude hit you so hard and you was trying to block it and it hit your wrist, that's fine. But he was still in there too crispy, ready to throw blows. And he threw that right hand one more time and just kind of winced and came back like, nah, it ain't happening. He got too much heart to just give up on a body shot when he ain't really hurt. You don't go in there and take those kind of punches and swat back like that. That mentality to do that doesn't make you just quit all of a sudden. You see what I'm saying? Knowing Maurice Hooker and how he's been fighting over the years, he's that kind of guy that he's gonna go out and he's kind of like one of those black Mexicans, got a black Mexican heart. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford in that same kind of fashion. That's how Bomac and all them kind of train, it seems like. Or that's the mentality that goes around camp.
Right.
Hit me a couple of times hard, I'm coming right back in a dog fashion. Not about boxing, it's just I'm throwing right back. I know my best attributes are to keep you at range, keep my long arm out, but you hit me hard, so I'm hitting you hard. He'll even squat down a little bit and get down to the other guy's level to go fight. And that's not his fight.
He should have never done it.
Never.
You know, one thing Emmanuel Stewart did, he taught tall fighters how to fight tall.
Oh.
And this is what Hooker missed last night. He should have been back to the Emmanuel Stewart book of training and fought tall. Now, here's what happened, right? I think what happened, Maurice Hooker should have taken a tune-up fight before he fought this guy, right? But what happened is it equals this. You so hungry, you go to a smugger's board at all you can eat. And they just keep bringing out food. When you get hungry, you get full, and they still bringing out food. You can't eat no more. He couldn't eat any more punches coming from this kid. This kid was throwing haymakers coming all the way from the motherland to land Hooker's body.
I like that.
He couldn't take no more, man. So the easiest way, when he dropped down, he grabbed his elbow. He didn't grab his wrist. This is a wrist. This is an elbow. And
they connected,
grabbed his elbow.
They connected.
He grabbed his elbow. He gave it all away.
They connected, man. Even when I'm catching punches from you big heavyweight guys, even if it's not a heavyweight, it could be a lightweight. And like when they're strong and hitting clean, it's coming right in. Boom. As they start fatiguing, sometimes the trajectory of the punch may start doing this. It might hit up top like this. It might come around, wrist bend, or something like that. So he was still punching pretty crispy. When he grabbed his elbow, went down, like I said, if something hit here, my wrist goes out, I feel it in my elbow too. So when I go to the chiropractor and they're adjusting my wrist, she got to adjust my elbows. She adjusts my shoulder a little bit as well, because it's all connected. When my elbow is out of line, my wrist gonna be a little out of whack.
But you don't go to the dentist. But you don't go to the dentist, then the dentist look at your eyes.
It ain't connected. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
The wrist and the elbow connected. Teeth and the eyes ain't connected. Wrist, elbow.
The only thing I stopped connecting.
Hey,
the only thing I stopped connecting was those punches, the Hooker's body.
I'm telling you, like I can almost just straighten my arms like this and pop my elbows every time because of so much wrist trauma I done had from taking punches and just going around, things like that. And so I can always just kind of pop my elbows because of how my wrist been. It's not like I'm catching punches with my elbows.
I understand.
I ain't up here catching punches with my elbows. I'm catching them here. And that threw my elbows out of line. So I mean, I can understand that. I mean, I can understand where you're looking at it, but just because I had wrist and elbow issues from catching other folks' punches a lot of times, I can understand it. But the dude, he took a lot of punches early to still be in there throwing back. So that kind of mentality says, I ain't gonna just quit just on a win.
What I didn't understand this here, right? Okay, Hooker go back to his corner. The round before he went down,
Yeah.
He go back to his corner, and his corner asks him, "Why didn't you do such a thing?" And Hooker responds, "I couldn't breathe."
Yeah.
He got caught in the body. When he went down, it looked like he couldn't breathe.
Yeah. But see, what happened the next round? He came right out aggressive. He just needed that minute to catch his breath. He wasn't throwing hurt. He didn't look like anything was hurt at that point. He just had to get his breath back. And so after he took that body blow, he just kind of covered up and moved around until he got his breath, took that minute off, came back out electric in the next round. Like I gave Hooker, I want to say round 3 and round 4. Because he actually came out and started dominating.
I actually gave Hooker, I believe, round 3. I believe I gave round 1 even. I gave round 2 to Lopez, Virgil, because Virgil looked good.
Yeah, he looked good.
He looked good. The kid looked good. Yeah. I mean, and I understand where Terrence Crawford was. Terrence Crawford didn't want to hurt this guy's feeling because he had sparred with him. That's almost like saying, your boy is in this fight and he getting drugged. I mean, on the ground, he's still. But no sooner he stand up and the fight over, you're going to tell him, hey, man, look, you slipped on that rock. And that's what made you fall. It wasn't that punch that he threw. It was the rock that your foot slipped on, but he didn't really get you like he thought you got you.
I feel you on that. I had it, the first 2 rounds, I gave it to Ortiz because the fight was going the way it should go for him. He was throwing them big bombs. He was walking down Maurice Hooker.
Exactly.
And then round 3 and 4, it started turning. Maurice Hooker started walking him down. And that's when I found out Virgil Ortiz can't fight backwards that well.
Exactly.
He had the Deontay Wilder syndrome. When he had to go backwards to start fighting, he was nowhere near as crisp. Footwork wasn't there like that and anything.
Exactly.
And so I was like, okay, it's changing. That's when I started saying Maurice Hooker can pull this off if he can keep doing that. He can pull this off. He just got to have a sturdy chin and a sturdy waist and all that kind of stuff.
He didn't have it.
After the 3rd and 4th round, then it changed back around. And that's what Ortiz, I think, dropped him or something like that happened. And, it just kind of started going downhill for him.
But I tell you what, getting back, I think that I think if Hooker go back maybe next year, and try to train the way he need to train, he's a completely different fighter. He's a completely different fighter at this time next year if he go back and train the way he need to train.
Hooker or Ortiz?
Hooker. But let's talk about Ortiz. Oh my Lord. If this kid was to train the way that he should train, and I mean, I'm talking about, it's great that he got the people that he got now, but it's a lot. I saw a lot of things and a lot of flaws in his arsenal as far as defense and offense, because he can't get into that ring with the Terrence Crawford or Earl Spence or even somebody else who's in the top 5 and fight the way that he did last night with Hooker. Hooker had been off a year, and Hooker came in there and did you see this kid's face after this fight?
Yeah.
This kid looked like somebody was throwing darts at him.
Right.
So you imagine this kid in the ring with the Earl Spence. It's disastrous.
Yeah, it is. Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford, even Sean Porter rough him up. Because Sean Porter gonna make him go backwards. Sean Porter gonna make him go backwards.
Sean Porter with the chin that he has, I don't see this kid knocking him out.
No. And like I said, Sean Porter is gonna end up smothering him. He ain't gonna be able to get his shots off like that. Sean Porter gonna put that man up against the ropes, and then he's gonna come out, jab, box him a little bit, and then come right back in with the whole dog wild style. Then, okay, I'm back normal. I'm gonna outbox you. I'm gonna stick out here. No, I'm gonna wild hand him on back in. That's Sean Porter right there, man.
So I'll tell you this here. When you look at Sean Porter, man, and this is honest truth, man. I didn't think Sean Porter had. Keeping it real. Keeping it real. I didn't think Sean Porter had it, man.
I didn't
like him.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I didn't like him, man, because he fought like a middle linebacker trying to learn how to box. You know, that's exactly what he fought like.
Yep.
When I look at Sean Porter today, I got a newfound respect for Sean Porter. I think Sean Porter.
Salute Sean Porter.
I mean, man, I love this guy now, man. I love this guy. I think if Sean Porter fought Keith Thurman now, right now, they fight next Saturday.
Yeah.
Right? I think Sean Porter win this fight by a distance, by a landslide. Almost like Biden beat Trump.
I do too, man. I do too. I really do. I think the same thing. I think Porter is far more mentally mature.
Exactly.
Than Thurman. And also his boxing game has matured that much more too, where he understands how to combine his little mixed wild style with the technical boxing. He's smoothing that little style out that much more, and he can be effective, and he can kind of dictate what he wants to do with it, just like Bud Crawford can dictate if you want to be in conventional or southpaw. Now, now back to what you were saying about Maurice Hooker getting better. If he stays in the same camp with Terrence Crawford and him in there, he's going to keep that same dog mentality, because that's what Terrence Crawford does. And a lot of times your camp tends to mimic the top dog. You see what I'm saying? Like Ryan Garcia is starting to do a lot of stuff that Canelo doing right now, because Canelo is the top dog in the camp. Same with all the trainers, all the fighters that Reynoso trains over there. Andrew Ruiz and what's the Mexican who just beat Burchett, Oscar Valdez.
Yeah.
All of them starting to get a little slicker and counter punching more like Canelo, because he's the top dog. Maurice Hooker is fighting more and more like Terrence Crawford the more and more he's over there in Bomac's camp.
But I think he need to fight Terrence Crawford.
He's not Terrence Crawford. He's not Terrence Crawford, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the same reaction time, and he doesn't have the same footwork as Terrence Crawford. Doesn't have the same physical attributes as Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford can do different things, getting in and out, and hit you with something so hard to where you got to respect it. Maurice Hooker can do that same move and hit you with the same punch, but it don't hit as hard, so you don't respect it the same.
True.
So you can't back the fight up like that. You can't have the same kind of ring generalship, because your punches don't affect the person the same way.
So true.
Virgil Ortiz, I agree with you. He gets hit too much. And anybody with a bigger punch than Hooker is going to give him problems. He can't go backwards. Errol Spence has a lethal jab, and he comes forward. He's going to put you in a box and going to cut you off in that box.
That's right.
Virgil will have to just depend on landing one of those lucky counter hooks that he'll throw real quick out the blue, and hopefully he catch you, and hopefully he'll drop you. But I think it was an excellent fight to watch, man. I even think, I don't know if you saw that undercard with the little strong Lopez versus the other weak
with
Lopez.
Argentine Lopez, Mexican Lopez.
Yeah.
They
were fighting.
Man,
I was trying to have a conversation with my man, and we couldn't have a conversation because this dude was he's throwing knuckles.
These boys throwing leather, man. And when the Argentina Lopez caught the Mexican Lopez with the two-piece and dropped him, that caused the fight to end.
Man,
the two-piece looked so pretty, man. Until Mike Tyson threw that three-piece that he threw against Frank Bruno in the heavyweight championship.
Yeah,
that was a two-piece of beauty. A two-piece with extra crust on it and a side biscuit with gravy.
That was a two-piece from the heavens. The Lord licked his glove, licked the other one, and said, "Here you go, my child. Take these." Argentina Lopez accepted those gloves in that instance, right there.
Boom, boom, boom,
That's
boom.
not the Lord said. That's what he did. He said, "Lord's willing."
Down, my child.
Man, out now, boy. Look, and he looked like he don't do nothing but eat protein.
I mean, man, this dude looked like a little pit bull, like a little.
He don't never stretch. Like, man, stretch your triceps, do something, stretch. Like, man,
like a little bulldog, man. He looked like a little bulldog.
Man, But yes, I had to give Lopez a shout out right quick because he did his thing. But hey, so a quick segue into the next topic right quick, man. I was watching shout out Showbiz the adult. I was watching his video early this morning, just kind of preparing for the show. Yeah. And next thing you know, I saw he was watching the trailer of this new boxing game, this new boxing video game.
Yeah.
Man, speaking of the Lord knows I've been waiting on another boxing game.
Yeah, real talk.
Forever. You know what I'm saying? So I had to sit down and watch that trailer right quick just so I could see it, so we could talk about it right now.
That's right.
What I like about it is they putting in boxers who only boxers and real pugilistic experts are going to understand and know.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I love that. They also put in your legends in there and all that. And they say they got a lot of big names to announce coming up too. But by the fact that you put in folks like Chocolatito, you put in Juan Manuel Marquez.
Oh yeah,
man, them kind of cats like that.
It was a shock to see that Sean Porter is going to be it. Man, Sean Porter being in there, want to buy.
Ricky
they put in. Oh
is
man,
in there? I was like, yeah,
everybody, man.
Right. They put your boy, your favorite in light heavyweights, Caleb Plant. They got him in there.
Oh yeah, Caleb Plant. Really, I think he's gonna beat Canelo Alvarez.
Nobody gonna know who Chris Algieri is unless you really watch boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He in there. Sergio Mora in there. I was like, man, they putting in folks who
Crawford, man. Terrence Crawford is in this fight.
Terrence Crawford in there.
With Ryan Garcia.
What also shocked me was they put in the new knockout artist, Oscar Berlinga, who been knocking everybody out in the first round. He's in there too.
But wow. Let's talk about these first round knockouts.
Yeah.
These guys are doing. Now it's true. You have to build up. You have to build up, and you have to take steps. This thing comes in steps. It's not like overnight you're going to become a Muhammad Ali. You're going to become a Mike Tyson. There's another guy who they're trying to compare with Tyson now, Freezy or something like this right here over in England. Mm-hmm. And I've seen a couple of his fights. Good. But he's about this close to Mike Tyson's speed. Mm-hmm. You know. I think Mike Tyson still was one of the fastest heavyweights that I've ever seen in my life, alongside Ali. Footwork, handwork, better. But let's talk about these first round knockouts. They aren't fighting anybody but the level of their competition.
I'm gonna say less than the level of their competition.
I believe I would go with you. I would go with you and take back what I said.
Like all those Oscar Berlinga knockouts, those are against folks you ain't never really heard of, and ESPN gonna build them up, as this knockout artist and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So I'm curious to see in the game, just like Showbiz was talking about, as he progresses in his career, are they gonna keep progressing his level of what's going on, or decreasing his level of ability and stuff as they see it goes on? It's like he may have a fight that goes 4 or 5 rounds, and you may see his stamina drop. So I wonder, you know how like in Madden, it'll upload like new stats.
Exactly.
Somebody get injured, they'll take him off, and they put in the new people, the new roster, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping they keep updating it every so often, especially with the new fighters. I'm not so worried about the legends and all that, but the new fighters who are coming up and all that, keep updating it so that if they do have stamina flaws, you'll see it. If they do have footwork flaws, you'll see it. You might have had their chin up at an 88, but then you see all of a sudden he done got dropped the last 3 fights. His chin need to go ahead and come on down to a 72. Or a 69 or something like that. So I'm hoping the game got that. I love the fact that they had them doing their natural movements. So the fighters are going to fight like themselves in there. Yeah. They're going to have their signature stuff in there and all that. Love that.
It would be good. And I'm not putting EA down. EA made a great boxing game, but I think it was just in between periods, and I think those periods went too long where EA they should have, but they didn't do what they should have done. And now that this other boxing game is coming out, I love it. I'm gonna tell you the reason why I love it. Let me tell you the reason why I love it.
Wow.
Because it's competition even up on EA.
Yep.
So that now EA put a boxing game out, you got to step your level up.
You got to step it up.
You got to get ready for this thing, man, because this game that's coming out, this thing is being bagged by professional boxers. Yeah. So in order for you to get on board now, man, you got to come with it, EA.
You got to.
You got to come with it. You got to show that man, look, y'all had it, but we had it first.
Right. And it's like that. I like the fact that they're letting you pick your fighter, then you pick your cut man, you pick your trainers and all that kind of stuff. You pick your team. Man, that's gonna be pretty good. And I hope they have it competition style online and all that. I want to be able to bust your butt in it every time. I'm gonna bust your.
You don't want that. You don't want that, big dog.
I promise.
Let me tell you something, man.
If we get on there, just if you see me, don't even come around.
I'm gonna tell you, I have been known to run through a whole household. I beat everybody from the little kid who was in the 5th grade to the daddy who bought the game for the little kid in the 5th grade. I beat the whole house.
And I wasn't in that house.
But I'm trying to tell you, I'll come over there and I'm talking about the whole house.
Big dog.
I beat the whole area where you at.
I tell you what, big dog, we're gonna have press conferences and all that set up, and we're gonna do it on this platform.
Everything.
We're gonna do a live 24/7 where we training, we showing each other training, all that type of stuff, getting better, talking trash. We're gonna set it up, big dog. Right now, this the Errol Spence Terrence Crawford fight right here.
That's right.
Errol Spence, big dog.
Let's go ahead and put it down.
That's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna make sure the world sees the whole build up on it, because you ain't got nothing on me in this boxing video game world, my boy. I'm trying to tell you, my boy.
I'm so good at boxing video games, man. I could close my eyes and win a fight.
Man, look at this double jointed thumb. Boy, these thumbs get down, boy.
You don't
You
understand.
kidding me?
I got the muscle right here from playing a lot of boxing video games.
But you notice how you can't see your muscle, but you can see my muscle. Look, oh yeah. Oh, look, oh yeah. Boy, you want to see both hands? Oh, boy, I flex them rocks. Boy, I flex them stones just like they up here. Boy, you don't want it. You don't want it. Them jabs gonna come too quick.
Hey man, look, when the game come out, I will have it the day off. I will have it on digital copy. I will have it on hard copy.
That's fine.
I will see you then, my brother.
Yes, that's exactly how it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
I will see you then, my brother, and anybody else who you want to bring, bring them.
And until then, I need you to look at me like my name is Hans and Franz, and you need to pump up. You need to get your little puny little thumb muscles pumped up, boy. I'm trying to tell you.
Look at that muscle protrude.
What?
Huh? You see that? And that's
you want to get in the ring?
Pure video boxing. You see what's in the background. You see what's back there. I used to do this. You know what I'm saying?
I was ranked in that game that you got playing back there. I was ranked.
I'm talking about I was ranked so high. I felt sorry for everybody. So I tore the game up. I took it and used it as a frisbee with the dog.
I like it, big dog. That's cool. All right. Well, up and coming boxers segment that I know you said you wanted to get on. Yeah. So who is your up and coming boxer right now that we need to keep an eye on before we get out of here?
I got to go with this boy from this heavyweight, Frisbee. I got to go with him from England. I love how this kid fight, man. I love his footwork. Okay. Kid look like he dancing a ballet, and he's a heavyweight, and this kid can hit. I've seen this kid hit. Although I've seen him get into a battle with somebody, and I know he's not ready for this level of competition that's out there, but I believe even at the height that this kid is, kid throw power enough where he can get the attention of a heavyweight who will give him an opportunity to show what he knows.
Okay, I like that, and I'm gonna go with somebody who's not as new as him, but still new. And because we watched Virgil Ortiz last night, I'm gonna bring up Jerron Boots in it. I think he's going to be the new face of the sport once, let's say some of the prime guys are starting to get a little old in the tooth. let's say Errol is 30 now, Terrence Crawford 30-something, Sheriff Jones Porter 30-something, Thurman. I think Boots Ennis is going to be that next one that's going to come up and just going to be really dragging everyone through the mud. We got to give him a quick shout out on that. And I don't want his name to get out there that much more. So it's more of a demand for him to fight some folks.
But I got a question for you on him.
Uh-huh.
What level of competition do you think I saw the fight.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the fight. Your opinion, what level of competition do you think he's ready for?
And all right, I like that question. I think the level of competition he's ready for is someone like a Victor Ortiz, because he hasn't had a bunch of step-up fights, just like Victor Ortiz. They on that same little trajectory, really. Now, I'm gonna put him above Victor Ortiz as far as a fighter, based on
Virgil,
and based on everything I keep hearing. Huh?
You mean Virgil or Victor?
Oh, Virgil Ortiz. The one we saw last
night.
Yeah, last night. So, but everything I keep hearing about sparring with Boots Ennis, everyone is like, nah. Like even Sean Porter came out and was like, no, if I ain't got to fight Boots, I ain't fighting him. Sean Porter said that. He said, if I got to, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna make it a war. He said, but I ain't got to fight him. And so when folks like Sean Porter is like, yeah, we're gonna let him stay new generation.
Right.
We're gonna let him stay new generation.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'm kind of on out by the time y'all want him to fight the tops.
Right.
So stuff like that. I hear that from like Sean Porter. I hear that from a lot of folks out of like Mayweather camp. I hear that out of folks out of Wild Card camp. All that. So just like Devin Haney. You're hearing a lot of good stuff about how they treating these folks.
Speaking of Devin Haney, I heard Lemachenko said he hadn't received no invites to a fight with Devin Haney, and I think I sent that to you in a text where it was clearly shown that Devin Haney hadn't sent anything, but is out here talking like he sent everything.
Okay, what happened, what I think, and that's what I heard, is they sent out like a terms type of sheet. And Lomachenko wasn't with the terms. Because Bill Haney, based on Bill Haney, he was saying, yeah, the fight with Linares was already pretty much so kind of scheduled. We was working on that. He said until Devin Haney said, where the has Lomachenko been? And Lomachenko responded saying, waiting on you cowards and all that kind of stuff. That's when Devin Haney came back, like, you cowards? No, I was your manager. Don't forget, I got your belt. You the one who ran from me. How you gonna call me a coward? So if you want to fight, we'll try to make that happen next. We'll try to go ahead and skip the fights that we got, and we'll try to make that happen next. Lomachenko seemed like he was a little slow to make terms for the date that they had coming up. So it was like, all right, well, we already got Linares pretty much on board. Well, then we'll go ahead and do Linares then, since you got to go ahead and cipher through what's going on. But Bill Haney also came back out, I want to say maybe on Iki TV. Shout out Iki TV and Dante's Box Nation put you on Iki TV. So shout out Dante's Box Nation as well. Right. And all the LDBC and all that. But Bill Haney came on the show. Was like, yeah, he said we started petitioning. Like, oh, if you're gonna talk that trash, we're willing to skip Linares and it's Jaime Munguia. I think they got him in the books too. To fight. Right. So we'll skip them if you want to go ahead and fight now. I don't know if Lomachenko was ready to fight right now, and so that's when Lomachenko came and said, "Oh no, I ain't never really getting no contract because you can't call somebody a coward when you ran from them." So now Lomachenko got to save face too. So that's what I think is what's going down with all that.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay. So I tell you what, at the end of the day,
yeah,
we got Lemachenko said that he's ready to fight Devin Haney. He exposed Devin Haney and said Devin Haney didn't have to win and beat nobody to get the belt. So there's a lot of people out there thought that Devin Haney fought people to get the belt. When you find out that Devin Haney didn't fight anybody, the belt was actually handed to him in his hand.
Okay, well, let's talk about your boy Tiafimo. Tiafimo rocking around talking about I got the real belt. Lomachenko just came out and told Tiafimo, no, you don't have the real belt. Devin Haney got my belt. When we fought, Devin Haney already had my belt, so you wasn't fighting for my belt. You're not the undisputed. So if you want to talk about email champions and all that, talk about that because they partitioned for the belt, for the franchise belt. They sent an email in to Maurice Suleiman saying we want the franchise belt so we don't have to fight Devin Haney.
So it's
we don't talk about folks, you partition to fight. Words of Bill Haney. You partition to fight somebody. You don't partition to not fight somebody. So if you want to talk any kind of email champion, you're going to have to talk Tiafimo first and foremost and Lomachenko because those are the ones who partition to not have to fight that man. And can y'all just send me a belt? I don't want to fight Devin Haney, but can y'all send me a belt so I can say I'm the champ?
So guess what? So it sounds like what you saying.
And we gotta wrap it up. So give me what you.
So it sounds like what you saying. You want to see Ryan Garcia, or Devin Haney, or Lopez, or Lomachenko. You want to see those people fight amongst each other and have the best come out.
That is correct. Now, who are the ones running? Who are the ones running from all that? Your boy. Your boy running the most. Your boy running the most. Tiafimo got his track shoes on, running like he Usain Bolt. Tiafimo running like this, and he got a lead on everybody. He just pointing to everybody like, yeah, Come on, man.
I like
that boy running.
I like.
All right, so and what I want to talk about too next week, so we can start getting homework on it, and I want whatever viewers, so y'all can be putting comments on too. I definitely want to get into that Wilder step aside money stuff, so that Josh and Fury can fight. Don't have enough time on it, and I want to research it a little bit more. If I just get on here, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. But that's something I want to, put into your brain. Let the viewers out here put that into your brain. I want y'all to be able to check us on some facts too. If we out there talking some trash and we say some stuff that's wrong, check us on it. Put it in the comments like, nah, y'all wrong on that, this, that, and other. That's cool. I need all that information. That's gonna make the channel and the whole community grow that much more. I want all y'all to know that y'all are family in here with us. We're gonna have different rotating hosts and co-hosts.
That's right.
BB gonna be here pretty much all the time. We're gonna have Antonio in here a lot. We're also gonna have my man Terry gonna be coming here. We might have Intrigued Incredible coming in here one time. So it's a family unit, and so I want to start hipping people up on the topics we're gonna be talking about, and check us, fact check us. If we ain't talking what we're supposed to be talking about, we ain't scared. Check it, and we'll get on it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I'm gonna do some more research on this boxing video game, find out what other names are coming out on it. You start training your little puny thumbs, okay? Start doing that, and the show is getting around that 30-minute range, and so it gets to be a mess trying to render and edit all that stuff when it gets longer than that. So we'll get back on it next week. All right, right. So that right there is my man BBT Star, and I am Allmighty. We're coming on this show bringing you boxing, blah blah blah. Where we blah 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 about everything boxing, and right now we are signing out.
Yes. Here we go, baby.